Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to see experiment number 6 of the power electronics and application. So as we know that the experiment number 6 is a 6 single phase PWM bridge inverter for R load. Already we have seen the inverter single phase full bridge voltage source inverter. Now in this inverter, PWM bridge inverter, this PWM pulse width modulation, this is one of the technique used to trigger the switches which are used in a bridge inverter. Okay, so this PWM method is used to control or to change the output voltage of inverter. Okay, so this is advantageous. So we'll see the aim of this practical to study the operation of a single phase PWM bridge inverter with sinusoidal pulse width modulation for R load. Now, whatever the requirements for these practicals are, the PWM bridge inverter kit, they required oscilloscope, multimeter, patch cords, power cords, and some CRO probes. Okay. So why this practical is included in your syllabus? Because we have seen various different techniques, triggering techniques for power switches. So one of the best triggering technique is a PWM triggering technique. Okay, so understand the need of triggering circuits in inverter. As already many times I told you, in inverter circuit, only 4 switches in a single phase and only 6 switches in a 3 phase are shown in a diagram. But behind that, there will be a circuit called triggering circuit, which is required even for high power applications. We are using SCRs. So SCRs are required a proper triggering circuit with uh, the turn on method as well as turn off method. So force commutation is also included. But in this particular practical, we have to see only turn on methods. So PWM is one of the technique used to trigger the switches which are used in a inverter. Normally, the triggering circuits are not shown in a diagram for simplicity, but there will be a triggering circuit. So triggering circuit, without triggering circuit, you cannot turn on the switches, right? And yes, by using proper triggering, you can study, you can maybe perform the proper operation. Otherwise, uh, your triggering circuit, if it is not proper, then the output of your inverter circuit is something distorted or maybe are not a proper. So understand the concept of PWM triggering circuit that we will see with the help of waveforms. Learn the working of single phase PWM bridge inverter, then advantages of PWM scheme and voltage control in an inverter using PWM scheme. These are some objectives. Now see, this is a diagram for PWM inverter. Already we have seen this figure for single phase bridge inverter. This is the same diode D1, D2, D3, D4, which are not required if you are using resistive load. So simplified diagram that is very simple, just battery and 4 switches, S1, S2, S3, S4. So working of this is already I explained in a class, but I'll again explain the working of this circuit. So by using a proper triggering circuit, we can turn on S1, S2 at a time and S3, S4 at a time. Uh, Keep in mind one thing that S1, S4 should not turn on at the same time. Similarly, S3 and S2 should not turn on at a time. This is the condition, maybe most important condition you can say, right? Even S1, S3 should not turn on at a time. Similarly, S4, S2 should not turn on at a time. Otherwise, the working will not be a proper. So same triggering circuit is used for S1 and S2. Similarly, same triggering circuit used for S3 and S4. Right. So we start with the first one. If the S1 and S2 both are triggered, it means the S1 is on and S2 is also on. Okay. So I'll just draw here. The switch is closed. Now the battery, that is EDC. Okay. EDC current start to flow from positive EDC, then switch S1, then load, then S2, and then back to the negative. So we'll get a positive cycle, that is this one. Okay, so when S1 is on, then when S2 is on, you will get, see, these are basically triggering pulses. Huh? Output of the S1, S2 is given here. These are the triggering pulses for S1, and these are triggering pulses for signal for S1, S2, right? So output voltage is across the load positive, and this is the negative, right? So these are the waveforms which are given to the circuit, so that you will get the square wave output. Now see, this is actually somewhat some kind of different sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique used. So the first waveform is called as a carrier waveform, and second is a modulating signal. Okay, so carrier and modulating signals are applied. According to the amplitude of modulating signal, you can check here the pulse width of pulse is changes. When the amplitude is max, that time the pulse width is max. When amplitude is minimum, then pulse width is minimum, right? So such kind of waveforms you will get here. Sine wave 1, that is phase 1, sine wave 2, phase 2, and so on. So we are having a single phase. So this is a carrier, this is a modulating signal, and these are the pulses which are given to the S1, S2, or S3, S4, right? So these are the actual pulses which are applied to the devices. These are triggering pulses basically. So such type of pulses are applied so that your output voltage of a PWM is also controlled. See, these are the output waveform of pulse width modulation. So this is basically the output of this inverter circuit. Okay, this is a positive half cycle. This is negative half cycle. Again, a positive half cycle and negative half cycle. You can check here. These are the output current waveform, and these are the output voltage waveform. Okay, these are basically a triggering pulses which are given to the switches S1, S2, S3, S4, and so on. And according to that, these are the output pulses, output voltage actually. You can see here, this is a one cycle, half cycle. This is a negative half cycle, positive cycle. But actually, what happens whenever the pulse is present, that time the device is turns on, the present pulse is absent. So automatically what happens, we can change the voltage also by controlling the amplitude of modulating signal. Okay, so the pulse width we can change. As your pulse width is small, the overall output voltage is less. You can calculate the average voltage is less. If pulse width is more, the average voltage is also more, right? So these are the output voltage and current waveform. A very simple practical: connect 3-pin 230 volt mains to the inverter circuit. One 15-watt lamp, that is resistive load, is connected. Then turn on the switch. Now observe the output waveform G1 with respect to S1, that is the source one, because we are using here a MOSFET as a device, right? So G1, gate 1 with respect to source. So we have to check here the actual maybe pulses, that is the gate pulses. So G1 with respect to S1, G2 with respect to S2, G3 to S3, and so on a CRO. So you will get the same kind of pulses. Okay, same kind of pulses. Then measure the voltage varying on T on duty cycle waveform by varying port. As you change the potentiometer, actually we are changing the amplitude of modulating signal. As we change the amplitude of modulating signal, then definitely we are changing the pulse width, right? So as you increase or decrease, the pulse width increases, the voltage increases. If pulse or decreases, the voltage decreases. So that we have to observe. Very simple observation table is given. Vs, that is a applied voltage. Now serial number T on. When you change the potentiometer, then we have to observe the on time, right? Then total T duty cycle we have to calculate, that is equal to T on by T. Then observe the voltage in multimeter, and then find out the frequency, that is 1 by T, frequency of a generated output voltage. So we have to take a sample 3 to 4 readings, right? And then conclusion. So conclusion is uh, written by the students in your own words, right? I'll just give the idea what will be the conclusion for this practical in short, and then we will see the actual practical demo. Okay, so in this particular practical, as you increase or decrease the potentiometer, it means you are modifying the modulating signal which is given to the pulse width modulator circuit, so that the pulse width of output of PWM changes. So automatically the output frequency of this pulse width modulated inverter changes, as well as the output voltage also changes. So this is one of the conclusion. Then by using this particular pulse width modulation technique, we can have maybe a variable frequency as well as variable voltage. So that is another conclusion, right? In this particular circuit, we are using only 4 switches. So diodes are not required because we are performing on resistive load. So that is the third conclusion, and so on. We are using here the power MOSFET because the circuit works on medium or low power. So we can use MOSFETs or other power devices. But for high power application, we should use only SCRs. That may be the fourth conclusion. So these are the conclusions. So now we will see the actual demo of this particular practical. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, dear student. Today we have performed the experiment number 6, that is single phase PWM bridge inverter using power MOSFET. So this is the kit for experiment. In this kit, if you see, this is a PWM generator, okay, an isolator, that is called optocoupler basically. So this optocoupler or isolator is used to isolate the power circuitry and the logic circuitry, that is a gate drive circuit. Okay, then there are 2 MOSFET drivers, because actually we are using total 4 MOSFETs, MOSFET 1, MOSFET 2, MOSFET 3, MOSFET 4. But this driver can drive 2 MOSFET. So G1 with respect to source, that is a gate with respect to source, then G2 with respect to source, G3, and then G4. The notations on a kit is something wrong, but this is a G1, G2, G3, G4. So these are the 4 gates, gate supplies, right? And these gates are MOSFET drivers are used here to drive these MOSFETs. This is the PWM generator, that is called pulse width modulator generator. A specific IC is used called as IC3524, which is used to generate the PWM waveforms. Okay, so this is a circuit diagram. In this vertical circuit diagram, this is actually called power circuitry, or you can say your inverter. Okay, inverter, it's a single phase full bridge inverter. 4 MOSFETs are used. 1 load, that is a resistive load, 15 watt. Resistive load is connected here. So we have to connect this load externally. So we will connect this load externally, and at the same time we are connecting a multimeter on AC mode. Okay, correct, multimeter on AC mode. Now these gate supply or these gate voltages are internally connected to the circuit. So no need to connect the gate supply to the actual gate, okay, because it is internally connected. So no need to connect the gates. Right now, at the same time, we have to see this is actually an inverter. So in inverter, the output frequency of inverter is variable. So we have to see how the frequency may be varied. So one potentiometer is given here. With the help of this potentiometer, we can change the input signal to the PWM generator, that is a modulated signal, modulating signal to the input of PWM inverter, so that the PWM waveform changes, and according to that the frequency or maybe triggering of G1, G2, G3, G4 will be changes, and according to that you will get a variable frequency. Now we will turn on the supply. Okay, so supply turn on. Now just observe here, the output voltage is normally a constant, that is 27, 28, 25 volt. Small changes may be observed. This is a load. Then see, as I change the potentiometer, you can observe here the frequency of output waveform is changing. The frequency of output waveform is changing. You can see on frequency here 399. Now it will be changing 230 and 119 something. So frequency of this particular PWM inverter is changing. PWM bridge inverter using power MOSFET. Power MOSFET as a switching element of this inverter, and PWM is a driver circuit, or you can say gate drive circuit. So according to the change in modulating amplitude of modulating signal, you can have maybe a variable frequency at the output of this PWM inverter. So you can observe here the even voltage. It may be a 27, 29, 30 and approximately. So voltage is not actually the main part of this particular practical. We have to observe the frequency and how the circuit will be work. So this is about the PWM bridge inverter, single phase PWM bridge inverter. It's section number 5. Thank you.